Guys, Karen here from Care Bears Animal House. I want to go on a little rant today about those animal groups on Facebook. Yeah, you know those little groups that you click join to and you have to wait for their approval and then you can start posting in that are all about reptiles, fish in aquariums, or dogs. Yeah, I want to talk about those groups. So do me a favor real quick and hit that subscribe and notification bell below so that you don't miss any of my future content. And if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button, which I really think you will. So stick around. Okay, now my least favorite animal group on Facebook are the reptile groups. I know, you guys may not agree with me on this. Maybe you guys have found a good reptile group, and if that's so, good, I'm glad. Good for you. I've just had bad experiences. First of all, they're full of a bunch of know-it-alls. You get someone putting up a comment saying, help, need help, to do with caring for their reptile or whatever. And you put a suggestion on there to help them, and of course you get someone that says, no, that's not how you take care of that animal, or no, you're not supposed to do that. And one of the reasons that they give, one of the most common reasons for them to argue about what you suggest is that's not how they live in the wild. Now, I hate that phrase, okay? I understand that we want to mimic their natural habitat the best we can, but we must realize they are not in the wild. They are in captivity. We can only mimic it so much. And not only that, but just because it's in the wild doesn't make it better. You know, they live way longer in captivity, and there's a reason for that. The reason why they live longer in captivity is because their care is better, because they are not in the wild. Like, one instance, this one person, this girl asks, she says, I've been making a mistake. I have been using a light at night for my bearded dragon. I did not realize that we were supposed to shut off a light. She's going in her head. I did not realize we were supposed to shut their light off at night. So I simply told her, you can use something called a ceramic heat emitter. It gives them heat, but does not give out light. And of course, I got tons of arguments over this statement. I got, they're not supposed to have any heat at night because it's supposed to cool down significantly for them at night. I said, yes, I know. But if you live in a cold place like I do, I live in Maine. It gets very cold. So, yeah, if you live in a cold place like Maine and your house was built in 1900 and it's drafty, your house may not stay 75, 80 degrees at all times. It may get very cold. So, what do you have to do? You need to either turn on a space heater to keep the ambient temperature where it should be, or you get a ceramic heat emitter. That's what I used to use with my dragon when it got really cold. Anyway, I put that on. I put on, yes, I know, but if it gets cold, I'm just trying to tell her what she could have used. But then you get someone else saying, in the wild desert, in the deserts of Australia, it can get down to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, even lower. I said, yes. Do you understand? These are not wild bearded dragons. These are captive bred bearded dragons. So the care that what a wild bearded dragon can take is slightly different from a captive bred dragon. Not only that, but they have different things in the wild. Like a bearded dragon in the wild will probably bury under the substrate or find a way to stay warm. It's not going to be out there in the cold. Some of them may die. Either way, I said, okay, well, how about you drop your temp down to 20 degrees tonight for your bearded dragon, see how it goes, That's basically the gist of it. Like, would you want your bearded dragon to be in its cage when it's 20 degrees at night? No. That's why we have ceramic heat emitters, so that we can keep them comfortable. If it's 20 degrees, you turn on your heat emitter with a thermostat and bring it up to like 60 or something so that it's comfortable. 60 degrees is still significantly lower than what they prefer at night. At nighttime, during the day. During the day, they want it really hot, like 105 degrees. So 60 degrees is a lot lower. And that's all I was just trying to help somebody and I got attacked. So that's one instance. Again, only one instance. And, these Facebook groups aren't the best place for info anyway. Like, I understand wanting some advice with, training your dog or advice on setting up a new tank or, fish tank, things of that sort. But when it comes to reptiles, reptiles are not the same as a cat, for instance. They are considered exotic. They're a lot more mysterious. There's a lot of things we still don't know about them that much. So, whenever you're thinking about getting a reptile, you need to do thorough research from many different sources, not just one. You don't just watch one YouTube video and think, oh, okay, that person, all right, and do exactly what that person says. What I do, I watch numerous YouTube videos from numerous different sources, and I also look online and find different articles written by different people. And then once I get that animal, I start caring for that animal using different yet common things. And, you work out what info to use and what info not to use based on the care. But anyway, my point is, why would you go to YouTube to ask for care info on an animal that you already have, that you should know how to take care of first of all? And why would you trust people on Facebook? You don't know what they know. They may know nothing. They could literally be telling you a bunch of crap that is so untrue. You could kill your animal by listening to their advice. And you could also get one person telling you to do one thing, and then you could get another person telling you to do another thing. So in the end, you're going to have to research the true answer anyway. So it's all just a big waste of time. And you're also taking the risk of having some person, start an argument on your thread. So it's just not the best place to get info. But yeah, you can't get any advice or help with anything to do with like care with localities either. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. There's so many of these reptile groups out there now. There's people from all over the world in these groups, different countries. So, you can't ask people questions like, oh, where would be a great place to bring my animal to the vet? Like, which vet would be a good choice? Can't choose that because they're in England and you're in Texas. So, things like that. There's just so many people, and their care in one country and their laws in one country could be completely different from the country you're in. So they could be giving you completely different advice anyway. This is my gecko. I believe it's a female. I don't know her morph. I didn't know the sex. I'm guessing it's a female because I don't see any bulge or pores. Sorry. But yeah, the good thing about these reptile groups, though, I will say, is you get to see some pretty cool pics and videos of really cool reptiles. That's literally the only positive thing about these reptile groups. You go on and you just scroll down, and you get to see everybody's pictures and videos of their reptiles. And there's people have some pretty cool reptiles out there. So, that's a positive. Okay, so the animal, let's say specifically dog, the dog groups. Rosie. The dog groups can be very, very terrible. Most of the time, when you see a discussion and you click on it, you'll see the admin has to either turn off the comments, or they have to go on and say, be kind, come on, be nice, be pleasant, or leave the person alone. Because when it comes to dogs, people get very upset, very emotional, very personal. They can say very mean things. And I see this in a lot of groups that have to do with dogs or other type of pets like cats, There's always someone insulting someone. When someone goes on and posts a comment saying, help, I need help, my dog is peeing everywhere, or, something of the sort, instead of that person, you'll get a few people giving some advice, but you're always going to get somebody saying, there's no bad dogs, only bad owners, or you need to train your dog, and you're a bad dog owner, you're not training your dog, and your dog's going to be a bad, unhappy dog and live an unhappy life because you're lazy, you won't train your dog. Or you'll even see people going as far as saying things like, that's abuse, and you're abusing your dog, or you're neglecting your dog, when that's not always the case. Not every dog is being abused or neglected because it has, sometimes the owners are doing everything they can. They are training that animal the best they can. It's just all animals learn at their own rate. Some learn faster than others. Some are slower, some are not. Sorry, I was moving around, so. But yeah, when it comes to dogs, people can be pretty mean. And also in these dog groups, there's always someone asking for money. There's always someone posting a photo of their dog, saying that their dog needs to go to the vet, and they don't have the money. And if they don't get help raising the money for their dogs, something bad's going to happen. Or, they just don't have money to take care of their pets, so you feel bad and you send them money. It may not be just for a vet. People are always on there saying that they don't have enough money to get their dogs food. So I've done this a few times. I've donated to these people. I had one person claiming they needed their dog to go to the vet, and they didn't have the money for it. So I sent them money. But I called their vet. Yeah, I sent them money. And I also had a person claiming that they didn't have food for their dogs. So I sent them money as well. And then that upsets you too, because you worry. You worry if there really is a dog somewhere in need. Like if there really is a dog that needs to go to the vet or doesn't have food. Or if they're just lying and scamming you. And part of you hopes that they are lying and scamming and that there really isn't an animal in need. But you really don't know. One good thing though, there are some good things about these dog and animal groups. If you're unsure about something, like, you know, I found this tick on my dog, what kind of tick is this? Maybe somebody will know. Or, you know, small, simple things you can go on and ask people for advice. I mean, you can ask any question you want, really. It's just taking the chance if you're gonna get some judgy person going on there and saying something insulting to you. But if you don't mind getting that one insulting comment to hopefully get a few, you know, a few comments with good advice, then give it a try, because there's a lot of good people on there as well that just want to help. So it's a pretty good community. Okay, so some good and bad fish or aquarium type of Facebook groups that I have seen or personally gone through myself are, I don't know, I've had some pretty good experience. You know, I am part of the Tank Talk group, which is actually a KG Tropicals. They run this group on Facebook called the Tank Talk. And I really like that group. It's a lot of good people. I haven't seen very many rude comments or anybody being, you know, disrespectful or anything of that sort, really. So, positive feedback here. The only negative things I guess I've seen for comments, and they're not really negative, but just, you know, kind of frustrating or annoying type of comments that I've seen. I haven't had this really with myself, but mostly what I've seen with other people are your tank cycled, or your tank needs to cycle comment. That comment is used so much in the fish and aquarium hobby. Half the time it's true. I mean, usually your tank isn't cycled, or that's why it's causing the problem, but it's not always the issue, and it's always the first thing someone comments on. Usually there's multiple people commenting saying the same thing. And another comment I've seen with other people, when people post a picture or a video of their fish tank, a lovely fish tank, and they just want to share it with people, and you hear, "Oh, beautiful tank, but that tank's way too small for those fish," or "That fish is way too big for that tank," or please get a bigger tank because that fish is going to grow out of it." You know, things like that, which I understand there is a concern there, and I have found myself saying the same thing to people before, because, you know, you worry about that fish, and you don't want that fish to have a bad life. But maybe these people already know, maybe they are saving up for it. I don't know. All I know is those are really the only negative things that I've really seen on, you know, in this specific Facebook group. And this group is a great place to go for advice or info, you know, people's opinions, that is. When it comes to fish and aquariums, it's good to research, of course, but sometimes you just have that doubt in your mind. Like, you set up a tank and you know how to transfer the fish over, but you just want to get people's opinions just so you know that you're right, or, you know, because you're nervous and you don't want to kill your fish and you just have some of that doubt. So, you know, a Facebook group would be a great place to post your comment, you know, giving you details and asking people for their opinions and their advice. And it's also a great place to see videos and images of other people's tank setups and fish. It can help you to give you some ideas for your own. Like, oh, you know, I really like that tall hair grass plant in there. That looks real great. Oh, and that angelfish, awesome. I'm going to do that. I haven't even thought of that. You know, things of that nature. Hey, everyone. Now that I've insulted and offended everyone, I thought the video should come to an end. That, and I'm on my way home from getting Chinese food. Sorry for the sunglasses, but the light on this phone is making me blind and I'm seeing dots. So yeah, no, I'm not trying to say all these groups are terrible. There's a lot of great groups out there, and I'm not trying to say all the people in the groups are terrible, just some of them. So let's just try to be nice and stay respectful in these groups from now on, and let's just try to get the positive stuff from them. So yeah, it's still quarantine right now, so everyone stay safe out there. Again, hit that subscribe and notification bell and thumbs up and all that stuff if you liked my video. And have a great night.